Hi, everyone. I'm Mitch Juricich, and welcome to Hooked on the Niners.
And I'm Mark Naismith, and Houston, we don't have a problem.
And I'm Terrell Jones. We're going to talk about the Cardinals game coming up, the Honey Badger, and I think they have a great defense.
Yeah, and sitting in for Jerry Walker, we welcome back an old friend, Dan Brown, who wrote the book, 100 Things 49er Fans Should Know and Do Before They Die. We have that. We're going to talk about all this stuff and the secret word. If one of the guys says the secret word and it has something to do with football, they will win a pile of money. All that, not a darn thing more, right here on Hooked on the Niners.
Hooked on the Niners is supported by the Canyon Inn, 650-369-1646, and on the web at www.canyoninn.com. Bach Construction, 650-344-4844, or on the web at www.bachconstruction.com. Lawson's Wildlife Adventures, 650-504-3400. On the web at www.lawsonwildlifeadventures.com. Tisa's Pepper Jelly, 650-787-2357. And on the web at tisaspepperjelly.com. Check out the Peninsula TV studio with over 2,000 square feet of space in the auditorium of the Samtrans building in San Carlos. One studio, many looks. From a simple talk show to an onstage production, from musical performances to business webcasts, PowerPoint presentations, Skype interviews. With our state-of-the-art control room, we're one mouse click away from going live from our studio to the internet or to Peninsula TV. For more information, call 650-637-1936 or use the Contact Us form at pentv.tv.
Welcome back to Hooked on the Niners, and before we go any farther, happy birthday to our birthday boy right here, Dan Brown. I'm guessing, just by comparing you to those guys, 22.
Sure, yeah, you're right on it.
Okay, all right. Now, you've been covering the Niners for a while, and I'll ask this of all of you, but I'll start with you. Did you see this coming, 34-3?
No, certainly not. And,
Okay.
and certainly not in the way that they did it, with Kaepernick having such a quiet game. You figure if they're going to score 34 points, it's going to be Kaepernick running up and down the field, making great throws. But there was kind of the, old school grinded out Niner style, and then you look at the scoreboard and say, wow, how did they get to this point?
Right.
I don't remember what our predictions were last week, but I don't think
I had it close.
Me too.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because of Houston's defense.
Yeah.
They just came off a bad game.
Yeah.
And I thought they would come in, on fire. But Schaub, he's not looking good right now.
No, he's not.
He's making some poor decisions.
Yeah, he's about ready to lose a job if things don't turn around pretty quick.
Well, I agree. I think what we saw in this game is what wins football games, +4 on the turnover ratio or whatever the correct word is. But, they took the ball away a lot. They scored.
Yeah.
The offense didn't really have to show up, although they did play good grinded out football.
And J.J. Watt, as great as he is,
he's a monster.
He is a monster, but not really a great game.
No, I thought that was really, really the issue in the game. They really handled him.
Yeah.
I think better than
they
any
did.
team. He made 3 tackles in the game.
But he was close a couple of times.
But they still, what he did the week before, or the week before that, or the week before that, and Brian Cushing too. So handling 2 of the best defensive players in the NFL, also in taking the ball away, won this game in my opinion.
I thought they had a smart game plan for him too, besides just the blocking. They ran the ball away from his side constantly and kind of trapped him, tricked him a couple times into getting a lane where there was no lane. I thought they were well prepared for what he brings.
No, I agree. But you have to look at it too, is that, they were 3 and out how many times? The Texans were, okay?
Yeah.
So, you get your defense back out there, they're tired, and I think, we did a good job of controlling the ball. The running game was there, and, we had, nice possession of the clock. So, you can look at that the defense didn't play well, the Texans, but I think they did. under those circumstances. Okay. You played with a lot of short fields, too.
Did J.J. Watt have like 43 layers of electrician's tape on his nose? What the hell was that thing?
That's why he had a bad game. The blood wasn't in his face.
That's so awesome,
he wasn't just
that is
roaring
awesome.
at people.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they did handle him. But how about this? Gerard Eddy, Willahite, Lemonnier, Scuda, and Brock.
Yeah.
You know, filling in for Alden Smith, Ian Williams, Patrick Willis,
right.
Chris Culliver, Nnamdi Asomugha. I mean, which, by the way, is Nnamdi's job, do you think, in jeopardy now with Tremaine Brock playing well, and maybe Eric Wright coming off the disabled list?
You know, Tremaine Brock and others after that game said, hey, look, this is what Harbaugh preaches all the time. Next man up, next man up. Somebody gets hurt, you step up.
Right.
And then you look at the big picture, when some of those other big names come back, you know, we know now that they're deep. We know now that those guys can play if called upon. So I think it was really a confidence booster that they could play that well, that shorthanded.
And I agree. And I think, you know, with Nnamdi, again, move him to safety.
Yeah, you've said that since the beginning of the year, if that'll work.
What about Kaepernick? Dan said quiet game. They didn't need him, but kind of problematic in my opinion, 113 yards, 88 to 1 play. He kind of looks like he's aiming the ball a lot more this year. I don't know what it is.
And I think he's looking at one guy.
Yeah, it's kind of, I don't know. Maybe it's...
No, I'll just tell you this.
You can't scoff at a 31-point win. But
if Alex Smith was here and had those statistics, the phone lines would be lighting up to KNBR and all the other talk stations, you know, wanting this guy's head.
Right. But it's like we talked about before. He basically has one wide receiver.
Right. That's
the problem right there.
That's what I'm holding out.
Yeah.
A comment about him, because there's. What would this team be without Anquan Bolden?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Can you imagine that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
They'd probably trot one of you guys out from the press box. What a thought that is. Anyhow, go ahead.
Don't think about that
I would call John Taylor. Come back.
You know, you're only 22. I'd send you out. You're the.
It's interesting at how different he looks. Right, he looks not as supremely confident as he was last year during the playoff run, and obviously that's his safety net Crabtree isn't out there.
Yeah,
they're shorthanded, and I think if you want to draw a comparison, even the great Tom Brady, when he's shorthanded, look at how difficult it's been for him without a top receiving core. So it's really hard when you don't have your familiar faces on the field for a quarterback to thrive.
Yeah.
Right. But also, I mean, if you look at Brady in the way that the Patriots coach their young guys up, Brady's constantly in their face. Always, always. I don't think Kaepernick's there yet.
No.
He's getting there. But he needs to have that. He needs to take those guys by the collar and say, look, if Anquan goes down, we have to rely on you guys.
Yeah.
So let's step up right now.
And in both those instances, here in San Francisco and with Tom Brady, the receiving core was taken away now.
Right.
I mean, it wasn't, okay, we traded one guy or one guy retired or something like that. I mean, I remember down in New Orleans, we had a 2-for-1 special on the cart hauling guys off. Remember that? 2 guys on one cart.
Right.
And that one of those was Kyle Williams and then
Kendall Hunter.
And Kendall Hunter. Then right away in training camp, there goes Crabtree's Achilles.
Right.
So, I mean, and Manningham gets hurt. It was just all at once. In New England, one guy's wacko gets hurt all the time, the other guy kills somebody. I mean, and then another guy they get rid of because they can't pay him.
Right.
So, I mean, that's pretty tough all at one time.
It is. But again, like we talked about last week, Cleveland's having a fire sale. And they said today that they'll give up Josh Gordon for a second-round draft pick. That means, in my terms, it's a third or a fourth-round draft pick.
Right.
So you know what?
They say that.
Let's go after them.
Well, if it's a 3 or a 4, I would do it, wouldn't you? Because they're potentially going to have 4 or 5 threes because of compensation for the guys that they lost. And they've already got a couple, and the same thing with 4s. Would you do that?
Yeah, I would do it. I mean, you look around the league now, and if you're thinking big picture, we want to win the Super Bowl.
Right.
How are you going to keep up with Denver in the Super Bowl with an offense that doesn't have enough weapons?
You're right. And another concern, too, is you got to look at Vernon. Yeah, Vernon caught that long pass, but you see he didn't burst. He didn't burst well. His hamstring is still bothering him.
Right.
So you want to, you kind of want to save him as well.
For a 49er fan, it was kind of a mixed message when he caught that. He broke in the open. It was go, not too fast though.
Just take it easy. I think Mario Manningham will be a big issue. He's had pretty serious injuries, so supposed to come back the game after next. And if he can run, I think they'll be okay for a while. But, if somebody dangles a Gordon in front of them, I think they got to look at it.
Yeah, I would.
Somebody who can run down the field, and he can.
Yeah, and that's such a vital part of a passing game.
Right, and plus you got to look at, next year.
Right.
You got to start thinking about that.
Right, absolutely. All right, when we come back, there's still some more things that we can touch on, and we'll go around the league a little bit right here on Hooked on the Niners.
Hooked on the Niners is supported by California Catering, San Mateo, 650-345-4881. On the web at CaliforniaCateringSanMateo.com. California Catering, South San Francisco, 650-589-0729. On the web at www.california-catering-company.com. California Catering, Emerald Hills, 650-369-4200. On the web at www.cacateringcompany.com. Bay 101 Casino, 408-451-8888. On the web at bay101.com.
Hi, I'm Katie Roletto, and I'm a local professional media producer. Thanks to Penn TV's volunteer program, I was able to expand upon my experience and gain some amazing training in the areas of television production right here in the Bay Area. The staff at Penn TV is very skilled and experienced in all aspects of technical production and really helped me learn and grow. If you're interested in finding out more about Penn TV's volunteer program, please visit them at www.penntv.tv and click on the volunteer tab. Thanks, Penn TV.
Welcome back to Hooked on the Niners. We're just talking about how stupid these players are that butt heads when they score touchdowns. The NFL is trying to eliminate head injuries, and they're forcing headbutts on themselves. I guess we can't police everything. What's that? No, I don't.
You'd lose that one.
I'll take one of the older guys. I don't want the young guy. There you go. A couple of things we'll touch on before we go around the league. Help is supposedly on the way. We talked about Mario Manningham, probably coming off the injured list. Quentin Dial might be ready to come back, and Tank Carradine, very high pick. I find that pretty interesting.
Yeah, I mean, like we already talked about, we're learning more and more about the depth of this roster, the way they played against, played the other night, and I think just those reinforcements coming in are a good sign. This team has withstood the loss of Willis and withstood the loss of Aldon Smith. And it could really, you just look at the names that are out, it could have been a mess by now, and they've held up just fine.
Right.
Those are two huge names.
Oh, absolutely.
Those are perennial first-team All-Pros.
And they're playing well, so imagine when they get Patrick back. Imagine when they get Alden back.
Right.
And this Michael Wilhoit guy has stepped up again, leads the team in tackles 2 weeks in a row. Seems to be around the ball quite a bit, and you're going to say Dan Skuta made some good plays
Michelle
too?
Tafoya on the sideline was mentioning in the she did okay. A little short on the tackles, but she works on it. She mentioned when she was talking about Aldon Smith, when or if he'll come back, because that could mean that his addiction is so bad. This ain't going to be a 1-month deal. Well, it could be a 6-month deal.
And you're right. Plus, the NFL, they're going to suspend him. How many games is it going to be? That's the big question.
Right.
So
is Von Miller back? No, he's not back.
No,
yet.
He'll be back in a couple weeks.
In a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Now we can start our look around the league. Why don't we start right at the top with Denver? How was the game in Dallas? I mean, 51-48, no overtime involved?
No, Romo, 506 yards, 5 touchdowns. How'd you do? We lost?
Right.
Yeah. Because I did my usual thing.
And then
I threw an interception when
unbelievable.
But we found out that Peyton Manning is human. He threw a pick.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you kidding me?
Right.
And he used every receiver that he had.
Yeah.
And all his backs. So, and I said last week, I said, do we give the trophy to Brady or do we give it to Peyton?
Yeah.
Peyton, there you go.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
I got 100 on me, says that receiver broke the wrong way. Or at least Peyton will say that.
It's funny, I mean, Romo says, hey, we lost. A lot of the fans in Dallas feel the same way. They don't care about those 500 yards either.
Of course not.
Right.
It's funny that the guy can be under fire after a game like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, just down the road in Houston, they were burning Schaub's jersey in the parking lot after the game against Seattle.
Right.
Yeah, but you think if you scored 48 points, you go defense. How about a little something for the effort?
Get in the game. Get in the game.
But they're saying,
give it a try here, huh?
They're like, wait a minute, we're playing Peyton Manning, though. Look what he's doing to us.
There is a big difference, which begs the question. I mean, not that I condone this or anything like that, but if you were a betting guy, the odds or the points for the Denver-Jacksonville game.
Wow.
Poor Jacksonville. Jesus, Mary and Joseph. It's 27.5 points. Would you take?
It's interesting. I mean, it's the biggest point spread in history. Historically, they set a new record for people who keep those kind of records. And I noticed that the previous record was, I think it was 23 points. Pittsburgh over Tampa Bay, and Pittsburgh won 42-0.
Oh.
So those point spreads are real.
Yeah.
And I could easily see the same thing happening with.
And Jacksonville's 2 starting tackles are out. And can I just ask you guys a favor? Can we pass the hat and get a collection so that Jacksonville can get the other half of the helmet painted? I mean, come on.
When they win a game, they can get the other half.
Many Christmas. They thought that looked good. All right. Well, we go ahead.
What about Indy beating Seattle?
Wow. I tell you,
who saw that coming?
Andrew Luck threw a couple of passes in that game that were just, straight from heaven. Just dropped right in the guy's hands. Just perfect passes. We were talking when we were off air about. I mentioned, geez, I wonder how the people in Indianapolis feel about Peyton Manning doing so well, and the comment was, I don't think the people in Indianapolis care. It worked out pretty good for them. They got themselves a real stud there.
Oh yeah, and then one of the things that Indy was looking for in the offseason was a pass rusher.
Right.
Well, they got Mathis there. He's got what, 7.5, 8.5 sacks right now.
Right, exactly.
So their defense is playing well, too.
I could see them in the draft. Now they don't have a number 1 next year because they got Trenton Richardson. Which that's fine.
That's fine. Yeah.
Next 10 years there.
Right.
But offensive line to take care of Luck and defensive line to stop the run.
Exactly.
That's probably the position for them to go. What's the team around the league that, you cover this pretty closely, that it was really surprising? And I'll just throw out a couple. Kansas City.
Kansas City. They look. Andy Reid's doing a terrific job. Of course, Alex Smith is playing kind of like he did, at his best when he was with the Niners. Not turning the ball over, making smart throws.
He's managing the game.
He looks comfortable there when you see him. He looks confident there, which he didn't always look, of course, in San Francisco in those early days when he had a bad supporting cast. But he's grown up a little bit, and it's kind of fun to watch, and good for him.
Yeah. And of course, their defense is phenomenal.
Well, we said a couple of weeks ago they had more Pro Bowlers than victories on that team, and there's some talent on that defense.
Oh yeah, no question about it.
Especially in the secondary. And pass rushers, linebackers are very good.
Don't forget, they got A.J. Jenkins.
There you go.
Yeah, they'll probably win the whole thing now.
Has he played at all?
Oh, I don't think so.
I haven't seen him on the field. I do the red zone every week, and I just kind of look out there. I don't know what his number is, but I've never heard his name called.
Secret weapon.
Now, the guy that we got, Jonathan Baldwin, had the first pass of the game thrown to him, didn't he? And he was targeted a couple other times.
Yeah, a couple times, but they haven't completed a pass to him.
Yeah, I guess it just takes so long for these guys to meld and to mesh.
Right.
We talked about Seattle losing, which was good. Arizona's coming up. We'll talk about them. The NFC East.
I was about to say that. Yeah.
Wow.
No winning team.
How bad is that?
2-3, and what? 1-4 and 0-5.
0-5.
So let's look at it this way: the Giants could win a couple games and be in contention to win the division.
Right. If I said to you 3 guys when the season started, spent $100, I think the Giants will be 0-5. Would I have gotten that bet from all 3 of you?
Secret word, yes.
No, that's not the secret
sorry.
word.
I thought I won something.
Secret word, you're on.
Secret word, no, that would be 2 words, Stan.
Yeah, okay.
You're the writer here. Oh, do you write those all in one? Yeah.
But I think that, with them being 0-5, any other coach would be under fire right now. I don't think Coughlin is.
He looks like this is really taking a toll on him. He looks horrible.
Oh, yeah.
As we were talking about before, the team that surprises me is Atlanta. I thought they were an NFC championship caliber team. They got Asi Amanura on defense. They're still giving up a lot of points. If you look at that offense, Julio Jones and Tony Gonzalez got 21 passes between them last week. And they can't stop anybody. 1-4. Most surprising to me.
And you're right. And you look at those. Steven Jackson's out. Roddy White's playing on a bad ankle. So they're relying too much on Julio and Tony Gonzalez right now. But everybody else has to step up.
Though.
It's amazing how fragile the nature of things are in the NFL. Buffalo looked for all the world like they found their guy, right? And E.J. Manuel. Now I just read where they're going to start a guy from the practice squad Sunday against Detroit.
Yeah, they have no choice.
They have no choice.
Yeah,
that's how fast it just flips.
Well, they went after Josh Freeman, but Freeman decided to go to the Vikings, which was a good choice. I like that.
Josh Freeman is the subject of a whole different show.
Oh yeah.
At some point, that should be investigated. What happened to him down in Tampa Bay.
And it will be.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be.
One quick thing about the NFC East, one thing that surprises me, you look at the Eagles and their opener looked unstoppable.
Right.
They looked terrific. This is going to transform the landscape, and then it hasn't looked the same
and
since.
now Chip Kelly's looking like he'll be the next coach at USC. Yeah. All right, we're going to talk about the game coming up. No.
Come on, man.
Tahoe?
Taco.
That has something to do with football.
Yes! Yes!
Who snuck a look at this? All right, when we come back, we'll pay him off.
Thank God.
Right
Monopoly
here
money
on
this
Hooked on the Niners. You saw this.
I did not.
How did you get this?
Just guess.
Just brilliant.
Hooked on the Niners is supported by Parkside Grill, 650-529-9007. On the web at www.parksidegrill.net. Handlery Hotel, 1-800-995-HUSH. The website is www.handlery.com. Poplar Creek Golf Course, 650-522-4653. And on the web at www.poplarcreekgolf.com. Eddie Perez and Company, 650-363-5904. On the web at www.eperezpainting.com. Armstrong Carpet and Linoleum Company, 415-751-2827. On the web at www.armstrongcarpet.com.
Welcome back to Hooked on the Niners. Taco, huh? You looked under here and
I saw history. I saw secret word.
Secret word, unbelievable.
What does that have to do with football?
A lot of guys like to eat tacos after the game.
And tuna.
Yeah, and
There you
tuna.
go.
Yeah, right, exactly.
So that's a food theme. Next week
We've got Dan Brown with us. He's written the book 100 Things 49er Fans Should Know and Do Before They Die. It's a great read. It's a quick read. It's inexpensive. And you're going to be doing a book signing.
That's right.
At one of our favorite underwriters.
The Canyon Inn.
The Canyon Inn. Yeah, Tim Harrison. What a great place that. And that's on November 4th. Mm-hmm. That's a Monday evening? Is that when?
It's a Monday evening, yeah.
Monday evening, okay. I'll be up there, and that should be a lot of fun.
It should be a lot of fun. I mean, the book is about Niners history, and the Canyon Inn, as we know,
is part of it.
Niners history right there on the walls and in the building, and there's ex-Niners who are hanging around there, so yeah, it'll be a fun night.
What a smart thing the owner, Tim Harrison, did in their heyday. Said, every time you guys have a home game and you win, come and eat on me. Right. Can you imagine what that? I mean, guys, today, if he did that today, what do you think Mike Upati could put away?
He'd be broke.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, are you kidding me?
Exactly.
Right now?
He'd have a Raider flag out there in 20 minutes.
I'll have 600 tacos.
Yeah, Daddy, where did my college fund go
one
to?
winner. One winner. All right, Arizona. I'll just throw this out at you. Darrell Washington. Carlos Dansby, Calais Campbell, Peterson, the Honey Badger, potential all-pros. There is some talent there on defense. There's no question.
No, yeah, you're right. And against Carolina, they sacked Cam Newton 7 times.
Yeah,
picked him off with 3 times.
He had a deer in the headlights look again. He gets that about every 5th week.
But look at it too. How many times did his receivers drop the ball?
Right.
And so
he might get frustrated.
Yeah. And so, but still, you're trying to chase down a Cam Newton, and you sack him 7 times.
Yeah.
You're doing something right.
He threw an interception that I thought was a pick 6, and he caught the guy.
Yeah.
Cam Newton, what an athlete.
He's an athlete.
Yeah. Unbelievable. What do you see coming up as the big challenge for the Niners here?
Well, it'll be interesting. I keep waiting for Kaepernick to bounce back to all the adjustments that the opposing defenses have obviously made. There's a book out on him now. Stop the run. Stop his number 1 receiver.
Is it this one? No. Okay, sorry.
101 things.
Just another plug.
101 things. The book is out on Kaepernick, and Harbaugh's a smart guy. Kaepernick's a smart guy. They're going to figure out a solution. They're going to catch some teams off guard. And they didn't need to against Houston. They didn't need to against the Rams. But sooner or later, he's going to have to play better for them to look like a contender, to look like the real Niners that we saw at the end of last season. So I'm watching for that.
This
agree.
is the team, too.
Yes.
I mean, this is a very good team against the run.
Yeah.
I mean, they're giving up, under 80 yards a game. And so now they're playing against a team who's trying to establish a run. Kaepernick's going to have to throw the ball. He's just going to have to throw it. And they're going to have to do something different than just pound it in the middle of the line.
Yeah.
Right. And I think, again, the receivers are going to have to step up because I guarantee it, they're going to double team Anquan.
Absolutely.
There's no doubt about that. So everybody else is going to have to, step up and get open and run the right routes.
So more Vernon Davis, hopefully, and the hamstring is doing well.
Well, and I think the stat on Kaepernick is since that opener against the Packers, the huge game, I don't think he's topped 165 passing yards in a game.
That's correct.
Yeah, you're right.
That's not going to cut. It's cut it for a while, but in this league at this time.
Wait a minute, run that by me one more time.
So in the opener, the huge game, and since then, I don't think he's topped 165 passing yards.
I did not. 165.
So this 3 very benign games in a row.
Well, I mean, if nothing else proves it's the fact that he doesn't have anybody to throw to.
Right.
I mean, that's got to be it. If Anquan isn't open, I mean, and we chronicled that he probably isn't seeing too many receivers.
Right.
Still got a lot to throw a little more to the backs, we think. I just don't
absolutely,
see why that isn't in the
backfield.
offensive
Kendall
game plan.
Hunter.
It seems a little strange, because they do have backs who can catch the ball, and it kind of keeps your offense not so one-dimensional. So interesting to see why that's not happening.
Maybe Kendall Hunter a little bit out in the flat, or I saw Michael James back.
Yeah, right.
He played last week. Get his speed into the game.
Why not throw a couple of screen passes?
Let's do that as well. Bill Walsh, God rest his soul, was not. Okay, all right. Just settle down. You got the secret word, Taco. I think you told him. Anyhow, what a sore loser. Bill didn't like the screen pass. He wasn't a fan of it, and ever since then, we've just never really gotten back to it. When our history and our heritage, and it's probably in this book,
right.
John Brody was probably the best at it.
Oh, yeah.
He was probably the best at it. I don't know why they don't do that.
Frank loves to do it. He loves to
do it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
He's got good hands.
The other stat, I think, is that when Kaepernick targets Bolden, his passing rating is way up here, close to right around 100.
Right.
When he throws to any of the other wideouts, it's in the 20s.
Right.
So that's an issue. We've talked about it, but the numbers bear it all out.
But why not start off the game with just like a bubble screen to Bolden, just kind of get his confidence going, and then let's see what happens after that.
Yeah. So. Well, absolutely. Yeah. The other thing about the Cardinals that gets me is Bruce Arians. That guy is he's a football coach. And somebody once told me years ago, and again, I don't condone this sort of thing. When you're betting on football games, you bet coaches and quarterbacks.
Yes.
Those are
Sean
the two things.
Payton.
Exactly.
Wow.
You're absolutely right.
No, I'm sorry. It was Taco. It was Taco.
All right, that'll be next week. Sean Payton.
That'd be 2 words.
I think this can turn out to be a defensive game.
It could be
because Arizona, their offense is not that great. You got you've got Larry, of course, and then you Mendenhall a little bit.
Right.
Our defense could easily tee off.
If we stutter this and it's a close game, they're in it.
Yes,
they're in it. We got about 20 seconds left. Give me a score.
21-10.
I can't give you a score. I'm not good enough, but I think the Niners win this game.
Okay.
I'm not playing, right?
Right. No, you're not. You're not.
We'll go with 24-7 Niners.
Okay. Ooh. If you were playing, it'd be 52-10 Cardinals. No, I'm just kidding. I think the 49ers will win this in a close one. I think both teams will be under 20 points. Dan, happy birthday again.
Thank you.
Remember, it's November 4th up at the Canyon Inn for the book. We'll see you next week right here on Hooked on the Niners. All right, good stuff.
That was fun.
Good stuff.
Taco. The one thing that we didn't mention was Gerard Eddy's interception.
Oh, yeah.